Hey girls, hey. It is the beginning of the month and I wanted to talk to you guys about how to plan out your months, set up your goals, and how to do some mapping for your team to help them reach some goals that are definitely attainable for themselves and for your team. So, first things first, you need to know what your goal is. What is it you're going to strive for the next month? Or is it going to be based around a company goal? Is it going to be based around a sponsoring goal? Is there a certain amount of money you need each girl to bring in during the month? So pretty much start there. You need to start with just thinking overall, me as an individual, where do I want to be this next month? Is it going to be a status? So let's say, for example, for the sake of using this as an example, I am pink status and I want to shoot to hit blue. So I need to know, what do I need to have with myself and my team in order to qualify for that goal that I want to get to. So if I want to be blue status, I need to have 4,000 company sales. I need to have $250 in individual sales. Okay, so first things first, $250. Now, right now we're going into November, and $250 is going to be probably the very minimum. Actually, not even minimum. That is super, super low. You do not even want to shoot for $250. You want to go way, way above that. So if I want to hit blue status, you always want to set your own personal goals higher than those on your team. You don't want to be the one that's selling $200 and you have team members that are out there selling $1,000, because then you can't reach out to other people and be like, hey, work your business, if you're not working your own business. Monkey see, monkey do. You have to do everything based off of an example. Okay, so my goal reaching for blue status is I want to do $1,500 in personal sales, and I want to sponsor 3 people. So if I have, and I have my notes right here too. So if I have a goal of $1,500 that I want to be my personal goal, then that still leaves me with another $2,500 that I need to do for my team, correct? So that's where you go through and you need to divvy up that $2,500 that is left over for your team. Now, when you are making team goals, you don't want to just throw out numbers at them. Take a minute and actually look at how your team is doing. You don't want to call up Sarah and say, okay, Sarah, we're doing our map for next month and your goal for next month is going to be $800. Sarah's going to think you're absolutely crazy if her average is only $125. If you go into your back office, you can see there is a 3-month average. That's where you're going to get your basis of what your goal is. Hi, Willow, I see you in the background. So your 3-month average is where you get your goal for your team member. So don't give them something that's absolutely crazy. Now, can you push them a little bit harder? Yes, you can. 9 times out of 10, I have more faith in you than you probably have in yourself. So I'm going to give you a goal that I think is totally attainable, but not completely outrageous, that you're going to completely feel defeated if you don't make that goal. Okay? So I wrote it down and I broke it down so that way you guys can see it. So let me turn this around just to give you guys kind of an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, so for this month, my goal is to hit blue. And my personal goal is going to be $1,500. Now, you can't just say, I'm going to do a goal of $1,500 and put it out in the universe without some type of an action plan. So you need to put an action plan together for yourself before an action plan for your team, okay? So here's my action plan. For me to get a $1,500 PRS, I'm going to do an open house. I'm going to book 6 parties. I'm going to host one of my epic sales, which is something I do twice a year. I'm going to do 5 one-on-ones, and I'm going to do a VIP party in my VIP group. So then I'm going to make a list of some of the people that I have on, kind of in the air that I'm thinking that will say yes to hosting parties. So that's what's going to get me my 1,500 PRS. Next, I want to sponsor 3 people. And when I sponsor those 3 people, I need to get them to 125 each and get them qualified right away. People love success and people stick with it. Success is kind of like weight loss. If you think about it, sometimes people, when they are doing exercising or trying to lose weight, if they don't see that weight coming off right away, what happens? We give up. I'm the same way. If I don't see some major things happening right away, I'm going to give up. So this is the same thing. They want to see success. Even if it's small steps of success, their first sell, getting qualified, hosting their first party, every single little thing is a success. And we need to make sure that we recognize that. That's what's going to help them stay longer and maintain all of these sales if they're seeing these little steps of success. Okay, so let's move on. So how am I going to get my sponsored 3? I'm going to message at least 3 people a day. I'm going to comment on all of my Instagram, and I do that a lot. I go through and I look up just certain hashtags that say like makeup, and I comment on girls' posts that just simply says, you are absolutely gorgeous. I love your selfie. You should totally be doing what I'm doing. Let me send you a message. And then I send them a message about it. I'll do a sponsoring video. Right now there's free shipping on the kit, so I'll do a live video, talk about the free shipping. Next, I'm going to make a list of people that I think are on the fence or on the back burner that are maybe wanting to join Younique, and I'll keep a radar with them. And this right here, this is my personal map of what I need to do, my portion to get my team to blue. Okay, so now that you have yourself mapped out, let's move on to your team. So here's my team. I just made up a fake one. So we have Sarah, who is white status. We have Amy, who is yellow. Megan is yellow. She has 2 people on her team. We're going to put both of them at white. We have Kelly at yellow, Michelle at white, and Hannah at white. This is pretty much a realistic team right now, okay? So as a leader, it is not about getting Cassidy to blue. It is about how do I help these girls promote. So first thing I'm going to do is, again, be realistic. Sarah is white status, but she's also a kidnapper. So she's probably not going to do a single darn thing. But guess what? It's November, so I'm still going to reach out to her and see if maybe we can host just at least one party where she can earn some free stuff, and we'll put it all under her name. So she's just going to have a basic goal of 125. We just want to get her, active. Next, we have Amy. Amy is already yellow status. She does on an average probably about $300 PRS. She definitely wants to grow, but she's kind of doing it in baby steps. So if she's doing on an average of, 300 in November, 600 is not completely unattainable. So I'm going to give her a goal of 600, and I want her to sponsor at least one person and get that one person to 125. Next, we have Megan. Now we can see right there with Megan, she has 2 people on her team and she's already at yellow. So my goal is to get Megan to pink. So I'm going to draw a circle around her because she is going to be separate from them right there, because we need to get Megan to pink, and how we do that is we have to get her to have a company volume of 2,000. Now Becky is white status, but she's working towards yellow. So how do we get Becky to yellow? So we need to look and see where Becky is right now, and Becky only has $500 left to get her to yellow, but she also is doing an average of probably about $400. So I'm going to give Becky, because we need to get her to yellow, we're going to give Becky a goal of $800 and sponsor one and get that one person to 125. Okay. Next, we have Jen. Jen isn't too eager to grow a team, but she definitely wants to make more money, so we need to get her to yellow as well. She's halfway there, so she can totally do it. So we need to give Jen a goal of $500. That's going to get her the rest of her way to yellow. And again, sponsor one and get 125. As you can see, my goal is always to have everybody sponsor at least one person every single month. No matter how active they are, I try to get them encouraged to sponsor one person. So if we have $1,300, so we have $1,300 left over, okay? We need to get to $2,000 to get Megan. Megan is a rock star. We're not going to do the minimum, okay? We're going to go a little bit above. So we're going to give Megan a goal of $1,500 as well. And since she's the team leader, she needs to try to sponsor 2 people and get them at $125. Now, if her whole team does this, it will give her $2,000. It will give her one person that is qualified, and she has leeway for that little bit in case these girls don't meet exactly what they need to. But also, she just gained 4 new people on her team. Cool deal, okay? So now we have $2,000 right here. So we're at $3,500 just between these 2 people right there. So we're only $500 away from hitting blue. So you can see how mapping it out makes it a little bit more easy for everybody. Okay, so next we have Kelly. Kelly, I want to try to help her to get to pink, but she's not quite there yet. So Kelly is going to set herself up a goal based off of her average. I'm going to give her a $500 goal, and she's going to sponsor at least one and get that one person to $125. Michelle is white. Now, Michelle isn't really doing too much. She's kind of taking her time getting to yellow, so we're going to give her at least a basic goal that is attainable for her of $250, but I still want her to talk to people and try to sponsor at least one person and get them to $125. Last, we have Hannah. Hannah is at white. My goal is to get her to yellow, and so she's going to need to do, say, $700. That's going to get her to yellow, and she's going to sponsor at least one at $125. Now, is all of this going to happen? We know it's not all going to happen. You know, maybe in, fairyland of Younique, this would all happen. But this at least maps it out and helps you get an idea. If you add all of this up, you are way over your 4,000. You're probably at close to almost 6 even. But that at least gives you some leeway, and it gives you some goals to help set up for your team. So now that you have your map in order to get your team to pink and get her set up to possibly hit pink and hit yellow, now what do? Now you're going to go through, and the first thing you're going to do is you're going to message Sarah, and you're going to talk to Sarah and say, okay, Sarah, I want you to shoot for 125. Here's some ideas of things you can do to get there. Next, you're going to talk to Amy. Amy, you're rocking it out. I gave you a goal of 600. How do you feel about that goal? Also, I want you to shoot to sponsor at least one person this month. Okay, let's talk about how you can reach that 600. Do you have any parties lined up? Maybe you can do some of these things right here. So do you see how once you make your own goal and you make your goal for your team, then you go back through and you talk to them to make sure that they agree with that goal, because you could be thinking one thing and they could be thinking something completely different. It could be one of either way. It could be, for one, they're like, oh, that's way too low. I'm shooting for the stars this month. I want to go. And that's perfectly fine as long as the goal is attainable. If you have someone that is yellow status and they're giving you goals to hit green, you don't want to discourage them, but you need them to be like, okay, if you're going to get to green and you're going to have $10,000 in company sales, tell me, how do you plan to do that? Because I will help you get there, but we need to have an action plan. We need to know how to get there. So that way it is completely attainable and you don't get frustrated when you don't hit that goal. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it made a little bit more sense of how to do some mapping for your team, how to set up some goals every single month. I do this every single month. You will see here at the when I'm done doing this, it's time for me to write mine all out per team. And I went and got big poster boards so I can write them and put them on my wall so I can see them all for this month of November, since November is such a big month. So I'm going to hang out here for just a second. and see if anybody has any questions in regards to how to do some mapping, how to set up some goals, things that they can do to achieve those goals, or anything like that. So, because I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'll give it just a couple minutes, and then if we don't have any questions, then I'll just go ahead and post this, and we will just go from there. Oh, you are so welcome, Erin. I hope that all made a little bit of sense for everybody and made it easier for you guys to break it all down. All right, well, people are starting to hop off, so that makes me think that there are no questions. So if you do have something that comes up that you're not sure, please feel free to message me individually, and I'll be happy